Tensions continue to rise between the U.S. and Cuba tonight. Axios is reporting there's classified intelligence that allegedly shows Cuba has acquired hundreds of military drones. The story does not provide any proof, but it's one that has people talking on both sides of the Florida Straits, of course. NBC6's Kim Nguyen is live with us in the newsroom tonight with the reaction. Kim, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Hansel, the report has not been officially confirmed by Cuba or by the U.S. The report cites classified intelligence for its findings. This as tensions continue to escalate between Cuba and the U.S. As the temperature keeps rising between Cuba and the U.S., a new report by the news website Axios alleges that Cuba has now acquired more than 300 military drones with plans to take aim at the U.S. The report, which is unconfirmed by Cuban officials, states there's been discussion to use the drones to attack the U.S. base at Guantánamo Bay, U.S. military vessels, and possibly Key West.
This is a moment of extraordinary tension between the two countries.
Just last week, we learned that the head of the CIA was in Havana for a high-stakes meeting. The CIA director was there to deliver a message from the president that the U.S. is prepared to seriously engage on economic and security issues, but only if Cuba makes certain changes. That same day, news broke that the former president, Raul Castro, may be indicted for the deadly 1996 shooting of 4 men during a humanitarian mission. NBC6 political analyst Alex Pinellas weighs in.
When you add all of that to this news that there is a certain level of military capabilities by Cuba and a potential threat not only to the U.S. base on Guantanamo Bay, but to U.S. mainland and Key West, it certainly raises the stakes and raises the tension even more.
This as the country is undergoing a humanitarian crisis with reports of continuous blackouts and officials saying that they're out of fuel. Cuban officials are reacting to the new report about military drones. Cuba's foreign minister released this statement on X, which reads, "Without any legitimate excuse whatsoever, the U.S. government builds day after day a fraudulent case to justify the ruthless economic war against the Cuban people and the eventual military aggression." It goes on to say Cuba neither threatens nor desires war. Cuba's deputy foreign minister also weighing in on the report, posting this to Facebook, which reads, "Like every country, Cuba has the right to defend itself against external aggression. It's called self-defense, and it's protected by international law and the UN Charter." Meanwhile, with instructions on emergency preparation, first aid, and sheltering from airstrikes in case of a military attack. For now, we are in the newsroom. Kim Nguyen, NBC6 News.
Thank you, Kim. And because the story mentions Key West as a possible target, the Monroe County Sheriff put out a statement. He tells us, "I am monitoring the situation, but I have not been contacted by any government agency, and I do not believe there's a reason to be concerned. I am confident I will be notified if anything does change, and I will alert the public."